As President Bola Ahmed Tinubu completes his first year in office, stakeholders and civil society organizations have expressed mixed opinions on his administration's performance across various sectors. KAFTAN TV correspondent Benedict Uku sampled opinions of Nigerians on the current administration, and here's the report.
Today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu marks his 1 year in office. He was sworn in on May 29, 2023, after campaigning on the Renewed Hope agenda.
I, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Shortly after assuming office, the president embarked on economic policy reforms, including the removal of the long controversial petrol subsidy and unification of the dual foreign exchange rates.
And fellow citizens, Nigeria again, witnessed before, is more than just an improvement in economic and stability. These things are important, but they can never compare the fullness of our story. Our ambition is to improve our ways of life in a manner that nurtures our humanity, encourages compassion towards one another, and duly reward our collective effort to social aid that seek to divide us.
While these policies aim to improve revenue for the federal government, they have had a ripple effect on the microeconomy of the average Nigerian, with a worsening inflationary trend and high cost of basic commodities. Nigerians have expressed disappointment in the president's failure to deliver on many of his campaign promises. One of the key areas of concern is security and law enforcement.
We shall defend the nation from terror and all forms of criminality that threaten the peace, peace and stability of our country.
Despite implementing strategies to address insecurity, including tackling terrorism, banditry, and criminality, a prominent Nigerian lawyer and activist, Frank Tete, scored the administration low, citing a lack of tangible progress in addressing citizens' security needs.
In a situation where we find people dying in the numbers, Nigerians have become mere statistics. The right to life has been completely, I would say, obliterated. It's now at the mercy of bandits. We just have governments that has, abdicated its responsibility to bandits, to insurgents, to also to kidnappers, and then it takes delight in building, its own welfare and forgetting the welfare of the Nigerian people. That is the height of irresponsibility. And on a national day of mourning like this, Nigerians must, at every opportunity they have, tell the government that it has not only failed, it has not only exhibited irresponsibility, but it should think of resigning. Because we have a secure term of 4 years, now becomes an unfortunate misery for Nigerians to endure what kind of this kind of failure. However, these politicians, these people who operate this government must also know that the way they have left Nigerians at the mercy of all of these marauders, these bandits, these kidnappers, and these terrorists, the same unfortunate fate will befall them, and it is not going to be too long. Therefore, it is a matter of life and death. It's a matter of emergency that the president and commander-in-chief, together with the service chiefs, together with the Inspector General of Police, wake up immediately and redeem the situation, or else the Nigerian bad situation that they think will never touch them will also ultimately consume them. I pray not, but this is what we are experiencing now. It's a very sad situation, and we are saying that it's unacceptable. If you take up the responsibility of governance, please understand it and discharge it, and not take only the benefits and forget the responsibility and allow Nigerians to die like flies. It's unacceptable in every way. And today, Nigerians are mourning, hoping again that this will not repeat itself next year. However, we have continually seen an increase in the suffering, pain, and death on the part of Nigerians, and we declare that it's unacceptable. This irresponsibility on the part of government, starting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, must stop today.
Another area of concern is economic development.
We shall remodel our economy to bring our growth and develop the GDP much better, achieve the GDP much better than we have today. I assure you.
While the administration has initiated programs for job creation and poverty reduction through investment in key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and technology, civil rights activist Professor Chidi Anslem Odinkalu questioned the government's approach to addressing issues like hunger, the economy, infrastructure, and exchange rates.
But you saw it, you heard it as well. It's reduced government basically to a sharing of spoils with no central mission. If politicians want to share spoils, you think that's what they do ordinarily. But it's also got to do something more than share spoils. You're in Abuja, aren't you? Go around, they're scraping surfaces off roads that are very well tarred because people want to make money. And communities that don't have any roads or services and roads that are not in existence, nobody's touching them. So where are they doing the roads? Metama Asokoro will say, now, who is using those roads? It's elites. Now, all the roads that are scraping off in these areas are all tarred. And if you go and look for the details of what they are doing with those roads, the roads that are being scraped off, it's just the top surface, right? But when you go to get the costings, they are costing in for things that are not being delivered on those roads. That's where the politicians are making their money. Schools that are already in place, nothing happening with them, the roofs are being removed. When the children returned to school in Abuja 2 weeks ago, in public schools, right or wrong, they had an extended vacation. You know why? Politicians want to make money.
The judiciary has also come under scrutiny, with lawyer and representative of TAP Initiative, Barrister Martins Obono, pointing out numerous irregularities in the litigation process and raising questions about the transparency and fairness of some court rulings.
However, if you're talking about the generalization of justice, the administration of justice in Nigeria, now we are in a very, very dark place in terms of how justice is being administered. When you look at the way political cases are being handled, the various injunctions that fly from everywhere, countering the other, then it doesn't speak well of the judiciary at all as an organization, as a body, as an arm of government. So for me, I think the judiciary in the last 1 year hasn't fared well under this particular administration, from the way judgments have been dispensed in the past and now. So what are the precedents? The same facts, the same law, and then you bring that to current same facts, same law, same decisions, or rather different decisions or different outcomes. So that's one of the reasons people are asking whether there is actually justice in the first instance. Because if you look at the cases, especially the political cases between Akpabio, Ahmed Lawan, Rocha Sokorocha, and a couple of them, and then the way that the judgment was given, people are now asking whether that is justice itself or just administering judgments or dispensing judgments. So these are the things that make people worry about whether the justice system in itself is dispensing justice or is just administering judgments, and whether the right thing is being done in the last 1 year. And this also affects the entire faith of Nigerians in the judiciary. The credibility of the judiciary as well is being affected. It's been really, really questioned. And for the first time in the history of Nigeria, we have protests of protesters saying all eyes on judiciary, that also shows a whole lot to tell you that there is no trust in the judiciary, or the trust in judiciary has dwindled in the last 1 year, and more activities, more questions are being asked around the judiciary more than ever before in the last 1 year, especially when it comes to justice administration. Not just even in the administration of justice also, but the administration of the entire judiciary and as a whole.
Inclusivity has also been a major concern, with Lois Auta, founder of Cedar Seed Foundation, raising concerns about the administration's inclusivity regarding persons with disabilities. Auta noted the lack of representation in key government positions and criticized the administration's failure to adequately address the needs of this demographic.
The Tinubu administration is not inclusive of issues of persons with disabilities. It's so sad that from the federal level is only senior special assistant to the president on disability matters that we have. We don't have a member in the Federal Executive Council. We don't have members at the different state assemblies, and even local government chairmen. It's just of recent that one of us was appointed. This is nothing to write home about. NELFON has been set up. How many students with disabilities will access the scholarships? BOI has different initiatives. How many percentage have been reserved for entrepreneurs with disabilities? Ministry of Youth just launched a project on billion naira for entrepreneurs that are young people. We have youth with disabilities. How many will they access these opportunities on social protection of Nigerian citizens? I'm calling on policymakers, I'm calling on President Tinubu to review his policies to reduce the impact of the removal of fuel subsidy in the lives of persons with disabilities. As it is, we suffer more. We are the most vulnerable when it comes to the removal of fuel subsidy because of transportation. It's difficult for us to move from point A to point B. It's difficult for us to navigate our ways from our homes to our workplaces, from workplaces back home. So I am calling on President Tinubu and his team to look into the issues of persons with disabilities. We want to see more appointment. We want to see persons with disabilities being elected in elective positions in this country. We want to see students with disabilities getting scholarships. We want to see entrepreneurs with disabilities getting funded in their startups and other companies that they have.
While some Nigerians applaud progress in certain areas, others highlight critical shortcomings that demand immediate attention and remedial action. As President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his cabinet members position themselves for the next year of their administration, they face an array of challenges that demand urgent attention and decisive action. From addressing high inflation rates and soaring exchange rates to tackling insecurity, poverty, and the staggering number of out-of-school children, the task ahead is formidable.